Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Hope you are okay on that side of the screen. And today to take a look at this mini computer, which is awesome, and it has a really interesting feature, which probably the first thing that I will talk about. If I press this button, it will open this part top right over here, and it will reveal a 2.5-inch slot which we can expand with an SSD or mechanical hard drive. Now besides that, you know how I work, so I did open it up all completely, and we have seen this design on several machines here on the channel, but this one is a bit more interesting because we don't need to remove the rubber feet down below. We will unscrew from the top and we will be able to access the computer. By the way, I did really enjoy the design of the cooler that's right over here, and we did find out a SSD of 120 gigs, which is a M-SATA. Can upgrade down the line if we want to put 500 gigs or 1 terabyte later on. In terms of the computer itself, besides that, it has a LED here on the front, which is really nice. Blue when it's on and then red when it's sleeping. In terms of connectivity, we will find a power button, a micro SD slot, 2 USB 3.0, 1 USB 2.0, then at the back a Kensington lock, a 3.5mm jack for microphone or audio output, gigabit Ethernet, and then 2 full-size HDMI, USB 2 and the power input jack. At the bottom we will find 2 holes right over here, which we will be able to use with the bracket that comes included to put on the back of a display, or if we want to hang it on the wall. Really quickly, in terms of specifications, because I will leave a link down below with all the specifications, prices and so on and so forth, but it has a well-known CPU here on the channel. It has the Intel quad-core J3455, 8GB of RAM, which will be very useful for someone that wants to have several servers, Plex, Kodi, Home Assistant and things like that, but we will cover that in just a few moments. It also has the 120 gigs flash storage, and we can expand the storage as we've seen right over here. In terms of benchmarks, I did test out Wi-Fi. It gives me 250 megabits of downloads and 100 of uploads on a maximum that I've got here of 500, 100. On Geekbench we got 300 single core score and then 1100 on multi-core score, so it's in line with machines with the same CPU that we have seen here on the channel. Disk speed quite decent, 540 megabytes on reads and 450 megabytes per second on writes, which is really cool. Now, in terms of testing, we can test this out in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and it will be more than capable. So if your question is, can I use this for office tasks? Yeah, more than capable. But the way that I see these machines as a versatile machine. Now, we can have it on a bedroom, on a living room, and use it for multimedia. And of course, we can also use it as a device to work for Word and PowerPoint and Excel. And as it is such a small device with a small power adapter, I can just, if I want, remove from one place and then take it to the other to connect to a screen, and that is it. Suddenly it was a multimedia machine, and right now is a productivity machine. So this is one of the advantages. Now, I did test out with Kodi, which is one of the softwares that we can use to test out if it can decode video codecs that we use using the hardware built in, and it's just a awesome experience. By the way, if you ask about Netflix and Disney and things like that, yes, more than capable. Kodi is a lot heavy. If you are not aware of it, it's a lot heavier. I did test out with 1080 MKV files through my Wi-Fi, and it was totally capable of doing that. And one of the things that I really like to see is to centralize Kodi library. I did explain here on the channel through several tutorials how to do a Kodi server on Windows, on Android, on a NAS, so we can use that to centralize our library. And then we use Kodi on this. We start watching a movie right over here, we stop, and then we want to keep on watching on another device that will grab the data from this, so we will start watching where we left right over here. And this is just an awesome experience, very similar to what we get with Plex, which is another option. We can have our Plex server right over here, very easy to install, and we can have the player as well, so it's a 2-in-1. We can take advantage of this. And if we connect to our TV using a remote control, which is the one that I use for Windows machines, I will leave a link down below or here on the YouTube cards. Besides that, because we are watching TV, we are watching movies, but on the background it has power enough to drive other servers. And one of the examples that I usually do and I use is the Home Assistant server, which we can have on the background. So with 8 gigabytes of RAM, we will be able to dedicate 500 megabytes for this, 500 megabytes for that, 1 gigabyte for this virtual machine, 1 gigabyte for that virtual machine, and the Home Assistant will be a virtual machine working right over here without any issues whatsoever. Besides that, we will have the machine turned on 24/7, and it has a very low consumption power, so that is just an awesome experience. This is my point of view. Now, being a machine capable of doing all this, there is one more thing to be a multimedia machine or entertainment machine, which is the gaming part. If we have this connected to our TV or the projector or something like that, a big screen, then one of the things that I really enjoy is the gaming part. And of course, we don't have a dedicated GPU right over here, so we will be limited to games that we can download from the Windows Store and similar games like Asphalt 9 Legends, which is a great game, no question about it, but it's just that game. One of the things that in the past I did share a lot is the game streaming capability, which is basically to use one of our computers on the network to stream games to one of these devices, either a phone, a tablet, a Android TV box, or a Windows mini computer, because it doesn't have the dedicated GPU. But GPUs at this moment of the recording are still very expensive, so it's hard for people to assemble a completely dedicated gaming machine. The solution is services like Xbox Game Cloud, which is what I've been using for the past year and a half, more or less, with a great experience. So this will allow me to have a mini computer. I don't need any special hardware, and I will have the fun of playing AAA games like Forza Horizon 5, which is the example that I can give you there, but we could be playing Battlefield and similar games that Xbox Cloud has available with a great experience. Otherwise, we would need a very powerful GPU, a powerful computer to do that, but here with this service we can use this computer as not only a multimedia device but also a gaming device without any issues. The only thing is that instead of purchasing a computer for game streaming, I will be paying a service monthly to have that kind of possibility right over here. And that is it. This is my point of view for this mini computer. Really interesting, really nice hardware right over here. I did like the touch of being able to expand the storage really quickly, and also enjoyed the touch of being able to open completely the computer without removing screws from the bottom, and I could do everything from the top cover, which is really smart. And on the last computer that we have tested here with a similar design, that did not happen, so I'm really happy to see this right over here. And that being said, hope that the video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up right over there, which is really appreciated on this side of the screen. My name is Roberto Jorge, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.
The way that you leave me, keep me in your headspace. And creeping in the night, keeping me in the back lane.